Hey family, guess what? I've been up since about 2:30 this morning. And generally when the spirit wakes me like that, I'll just sit and I listen. So I want to share with you what I heard. Black women, God talked to me about us and my brothers, black men, black women. We have not recognized, some of us have, the smoke and mirrors within the system that have kept us from fully rising in certain ways in this realm. In the spirit realm, we are soaring. The smoke and mirrors, for example, the smoke and mirrors that were done with Caucasian women were put in place for them to, in my opinion now, to protect capitalism, protect the interest of Caucasian men, aka white privilege. And it's done so subtly because it is thoroughly threaded into us socially over generations. Now, what the Spirit said to me was this: it has been done to us through the spiritual things. The only African American church in this country that was started by African Americans is the Church of God in Christ. One of the most conservative denominations in the country. I had a wonderful professor who had grew up in that denomination, had his PhD, and yet they were still bent on things like women should not be ordained, and they're not looking for women to pray for men and things like that. So spiritually, in many ways, especially black women, we have paid for a lot of, monetarily paid for a lot of our oppression and marginalization that comes from within our community. So as the Spirit is telling me this, I'm going, so you're saying we're paying for the spiritual part of this realm's marginalization and oppression of us? And she said, yes. We do not stand up for each other the way we should. I know the one time they pulled a young lady in front of the church to say that she was with child because she had been dating a married man who was also part of the praise and worship team. I was the only woman in the room going, well, baby, where's the man? She didn't get pregnant alone. Just saying. And they would, shh, don't say that. What do you mean don't say that? All women were coming and almost sitting on top of me to say, don't say that. Guys, I'm trying to parse this out because sometimes what I hear in the spirit realm is so difficult to put it all into words because you sense it, you feel it. It's as if the Spirit is breathing in and through you and telling you information. There's a pattern that we must break in this realm. I think it's because I saw some of the things I saw with the Umar gentleman. He would not be where he is without black women, but yet can be very negative toward us. We cannot continue to support and pay for our own oppression, especially in our own community. I'm really thinking about what the Spirit said. The smoke and mirrors for us has been to maintain, help me Spirit, to maintain colonization, oppression, and marginalization within our forms of worship. And I was saying, well, did I do that? Yeah, you did. Because you're so socialized, you don't realize anything is adverse or you're doing something and bringing about a structure that holds your people into one place. It doesn't free them, which is why they have really been trying to find that one black voice that everyone would listen to. And they really don't want a female voice. They want a black male whose voice we will listen to the way we listen to Dr. King, the way for many years we listened to Reverend Jackson. They're looking for that voice to shore up the smoke and mirrors that have so hampered us in church, in society. They're looking to, build those up, sturdy them, lest we be fully set free. I'm still chewing on it, family. Trying to understand everything the Spirit, everything the Spirit was breathing into me. And I'm sitting there breathing and I'm thinking, but what did we do? 92%, hear me. We have been paying in churches, in different organizations for our own oppression and marginalization. And I'm still chewing on it. I just am. So that breakaway that we've had from so many people not going to church, and I will tell you, denominations are spinning their wheels. They're trying to figure out how to get people in the church. How do we get the people back in the church? Because God is breaking all of that down. And I know you're probably saying, well, you a pastor. How can you sit here and say that? I don't preach the way everyone else preaches. It gets me in trouble. We're a small church because not everybody. What was that? Hold on a second. I'm back. There was a cat squab going on in here, but I'm going to really have to pray this one out because I had not expected to hear that there are things that we need to correct, and really, really put some of those things that think they have a stranglehold on us. We need to put them in check. The Democratic Party that takes us for granted. While they've done a lot of good, the smoke and the mirrors. Yeah. Same thing with the church, the smoke and the mirrors to keep us in a way that we never break forth and break out in this realm. They cannot stop us in the spirit realm. Cannot. That's why our ancestors are here. It's a strange thing that was said to me that we need to deal with the smoke and mirrors already in our community. In other words, before we try to get the speck out of the white sister's eyes, we need to get the log out of ours. Thought I would come outside. I don't want to be critical about Black women, but I'm trying to share with you the best I can what I heard from the Spirit this morning, who woke me up again at about 2:30. I think this breakthrough that is happening in this country and other countries, the Spirit is wanting it to be solid and not something with the little tricks they can use to bust it up. Because I'm feeling some kind of way. Because I'm so accustomed to saying, no. That's a Karen. And the Spirit is like, Get the plank out of your eye. Begin to deal with the systems and things in our own community before we can fully remove the others around us, the other things that are in place to cause hurt and harm. This is a tough one, family. And I wasn't expecting it. I really wasn't. So I'm going to go do morning meditations. But there are things in our community through how we do business, how we worship, how we interact, that are smoke and mirrors that keep us in a certain state of being, especially concerning our Black men. As long as they're charismatic or cute, and sometimes they're not even cute, yeah, we'll give them $500 to go to lunch, knowing it's a scam. Knowing it's a scam, because we have been the protectors of Black men. And we don't want to be the ones to bring hurt and harm. So anytime you see a big ruckus about something spiritual, you will see, and I will say this even on Roland Martin and some others, it's all Black men as far as preachers. And we know, you know how many women have been called and have done like me, gone to do the hard study. They're not going to call us. That's one of the smoke and mirrors. And those men who would not want to sit beside of us or across us, from us, in moments like that, then there's a problem. There just is. So I'm going to go on and do morning meditations. And I may discuss this some more because I'm really chewing on that. When the Spirit said, no, in the Black community, you need to get the log out of your eye before you get the speck out of other people's eyes. And how we see each other varies. Black men will prefer to marry outside of their race and have children that they want to have that do not look like me. Why? When they were raised by Black women, why? What have we done? We did something, guys. The Spirit's not letting us off the hook on this one. Just not letting us off the hook. And I'm a believer, you love who you love. But if you love who you love because of who you hate and who you don't want to be, is it really, really love? Some people I know hate Christianity, so they embrace the Islamic faith. They embrace this faith. Some people hate the Islamic faith, so they come and embrace Christianity. It's that type of thing that the Spirit is talking to me about. And while we have a keen eye for recognizing things, we've missed ourselves. I'll tell you more later. Bye.